Hello, boys and girls. Today, for our lesson, we are going to talk about how good readers or directors notice when there's a change in the setting in their story. Now, we're going to see how this setting changes what's going on in the story and also how it changes the characters and the characters around them as well. So, today, we're going to be reading a book called My Big Excavation, and it's written by Leah Hamilton. This is actually a really cool book because somebody that my dad works with is the one who wrote it. And there's also spaces inside for people to draw, and it was also illustrated by a kid. So I will pause when there's places for you to draw, and if you want to write it down, maybe you can add some of the pictures to the story. And we're also going to pause and write down things on our post-it notes or paper or whatever we may have about our setting and how a good director or a good reader can notice how the setting is going to affect the story. So again, this is called My Big Excavation. An excavation basically is just digging a big giant hole. Little Jadelyn was excited as she brushed her teeth before hopping into bed. Tomorrow was her big excavation day. Jadelyn had been waiting for this day since school let out for the summer. Jadelyn, are you ready for a bedtime story? Asked Jadelyn's mother. Yes, ma'am, declared Jadelyn. Mommy, can we read my favorite story about the beach? I want to be prepared for tomorrow. Jadelyn loved everything about the beach, from the sand to the seashells and water, especially the water. Jadelyn loved the water so much that her mother called her the Golden Mermaid. Okay, said a puzzled Mrs. Reese. I know you love the water, my golden mermaid, but I'm confused on how this is going to help you prepare for tomorrow. Taking in a deep breath, Jadelyn whispered, Mommy, water is relaxing. The waves are relaxing, and I need relaxing, pouted Jadelyn. So she's excited, she's waiting. So there's a blank page right here. It says, now it's your turn to be part of the story. Draw a picture of the big, beautiful ocean and beach. So if you want, you can write a little note and you can draw a picture that will go along with the story. Participating in this year's excavation was special for two very important reasons. One, this would be the first time that Jadelyn and her mother would be working together, spending mommy-daughter time as what she likes to call a mommy-daughter team. For Jadelyn's mommy-daughter time, did not always come easily, as she has two brothers and three sisters to share her parents with. During most excavations, the whole family played a part as Dad would lead the way. However, Jadelyn would often feel left out and given the easy work. To Jadelyn, this was the same thing that happened to her at every family trip. She was either too young to see some movies, too short to ride certain rides, or too old to go on what she calls the baby spots with her dad and younger sister. In Jadelyn's world, the life of a 9-year-old can be pretty complicated. So again, that would be a spot where you can draw the picture. So she seems kind of upset because she's either too old for some things or too young for some things still. She wants to be involved. For Jadelyn, the second reason was the most special reason. During this year's excavation, Jadelyn would be the team leader. Being the team leader of an excavation was so important to Jadelyn that all winter long she studied quarries the hardest, collected dozens of artifacts, and brought every book explaining how to perform an excavation. So excavation would be like the digging of the hole, and the quarry would be the hole. Down here it says it's your turn again. Draw some artifacts in the empty space above. So artifacts would be something that you found when you were excavating in the quarry. Sure, but Jadelyn, you have so many favorite books about the beach. Which one of them did you have in mind? Her mother smiled. How about Little Tommy's Sandcastle Club, said Jadelyn. Okay, Little Tommy's it is. But you have to go right to bed after I finish the book. We have a big day ahead of us, said Mrs. Reese. So I'm going to write down that they are at home, but Jadelyn wants to be relaxed and she wants to think of something relaxing. So even though they're not going to the beach, she's thinking about the beach and reading a story about the beach. So even though they aren't at the beach, she still finds it relaxing, and it's one of her happy places. So I'm going to write that down as part of our setting. Even though she's not physically there, she's thinking about it. She's trying to put herself there in her mind by reading the story about it and also by thinking about it. So even though she's at home, she's thinking about the beach. About the beach. Okay. Okay, Mommy, Jadelyn chimed quickly as she grabbed the book from the shelf, shoving it to her mother excitedly. Just a minute into the book, Jadelyn was fast asleep with a smile perfectly placed on her face as she dreamed about tomorrow's big excavation day. There's that picture. Make sure to draw a scene of Jadelyn's dream on the next page, of course. So right here, there's a blank page. So think about what Jadelyn might be dreaming about. She has her big excavation day. She's excited. She's thinking about the beach. So you can draw a picture if you'd like. Books, books, and more books. Let's draw some books here. So if you'd like to draw some books that she might be thinking about, right here would be a good spot for that. The next morning, Jadelyn was up before the sun. But as Jadelyn looked at the lingering stars, she began to feel something. That something was in the bottom of her stomach, accompanied with flutters. Jadelyn decided this feeling was not for her, and if being team leader made her this nervous, she wouldn't be going at all. So back under the covers she went. Thinking of a way to stay home, Jadelyn remained under the covers until pop! Just like that, the lights came on. It was Mrs. Reese. Jadelyn, it's time to wake up, sleepyhead, alerted Mrs. Reese. There's a picture. It says, it's time to imagine, freestyle, and draw what you want to here. So the last part, you can just draw a picture of whatever you would like. I would draw personally something about being nervous, maybe something that I'm getting nervous about, because that's what's going on in the story. So I'm going to write down one more thing. She's at home. She's feeling nervous about going to this excavation trip. So I'm going to write that at home makes her feel safe, and it also makes her feel comfortable. So that setting is where she feels safe, she feels comfortable. She's nervous, she has butterflies in her stomach, she can feel them fluttering around. So she doesn't really want to go anywhere that's going to make her nervous. But when she's at home, she's feeling safe, she's feeling comfortable. Okay, and this is a longer book, so I'm going to leave us with a cliffhanger there, and we will finish this on Friday. Have a great day.